So we're back. There you go.
Awkward silence.
I'm rolling with the LGBT, looking like we belong on TV. I'm rolling with the LGBT.
We watched a movie that was so terrible that it forced us to come back and do another video.
Her eye is a glass eye because it rotted her left eye.
It rotted my brain. This time we're doing a twofer. We're doing two movies that are linked in some ways. Both of them have Ben Affleck, are supposedly about queer women. Both of them are written by straight white men. So, without further ado, we're gonna review Chasing Amy and Gigli.
Gigli.
First, we'll review Gigli. So Caitlin, do a short synopsis for us.
I actually have no idea what this movie's about, and we watched it. He is a man, he's Ben Affleck.
Yes.
He's in the mob, I think. And he's hired to steal this young man who has an intellectual disability.
Kidnap.
He steals a young man who's disabled,
Yes.
who, for ransom?
No, okay. They kidnap...
What's it about?
They kidnap this guy with mental disability. They kidnap him because his brother is like a DA or something. And they're like they think if they kidnap his brother, that'll make him like not prosecute them or something like that.
Who knows? Basically, he's a fake mobster who steals a boy who gets buddy copped with J-Lo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so they send J-Lo, or her name's Ricky in the movie.
Ricky.
They send her in because the mob doesn't trust Ben Affleck / Gigli to handle his job. And so they both have like the same job, and so they're like forced to work together, and they have like a weird tension. And like he's super into her because she's J-Lo and she's really hot. And she's like, no, I'm a lesbian. And he's like, oh, fucking Dicosaurus Rex, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe that. I'm tortured by it. I'm a straight man, I'm tortured. Then they have sex.
Yeah, that's the only part of the movie anyone should see, I think. That's
In
like,
the gobble gobble
that's
turkey
all-
time.
It's turkey time.
Huh?
Gobble gobble.
Those are both on YouTube. You can save probably like an hour and a half of your life if you just watch like 4 minutes of that movie. Oh.
I think it's just one. No, there's two. Her ex-girlfriend's in it for a second. So there's Ricky, played by J-Lo. And then her ex-girlfriend's name is Robin. I had to write it down because it was so she's such not a character.
But just what a name. That's a gay name.
We did not understand the plot very well, I don't think. Ricky, J-Lo's character, is one of the main characters in this straight man's rom-com. Robin, her ex-girlfriend, is a total throwaway character. They show her for one scene where she basically just disrupts Ricky and Gigli's relationship. She comes in all crazy. She's like, you fucking this guy? Like, what's your sexuality now? He's like changed you. Blah, 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 blah. And then she fucking, in the middle of the room, slits open her wrists. And they have to take her to the hospital. And that is how this character is featured.
I liked her a lot. She had a couple seconds stay, but she was a good time. Okay, but here's my thing about Gigli. I don't even think J-Lo's character is gay. From the minute, what's his name? Michael Brest.
Mm-hmm.
From the minute Brest started writing the script, J-Lo is not gay the whole movie. I think it's one of those things where it's like this guy, this old dude, wrote this story of a woman who is very like cool and liberal and fun, and was like, she thinks she's gay because of those things.
I mean, okay. Her gayness in this movie is simply thrown in as like a rom-com hurdle.
Yeah.
Like, you know how there's always like a hurdle in a relationship? That is her gayness in this film.
I'm not even gonna answer that. I'm not even gonna give that an answer. This movie was so... It wasn't even bad, like fun bad.
It was just bad. It was just really bad. It's, okay. J-Lo is a lesbian, and I guess you could argue that she like is bisexual or pan or something.
I think that's giving him way too much credit.
I agree. I don't think that was the
What is that
intention.
for?
Hey, Google, stop.
What if my phone did that and it's all connected and something spooky is gonna happen?
It is. Yeah, I don't think the writer intended anything. Like, I think his intention is...
She's confused.
It's
She's
a joke
cool.
she's a lesbian. Who couldn't resist Ben Affleck? It's awful representation. The one actually, like, gay character is shown as, like, a psycho. The other character, her sexuality, she just needed to find the right dick.
Also, there's like a weird thing where it's like the whole time she just wants to domesticate something.
Yeah, there's like this, okay, I think it's like a very heteronormative kind of like flip-flop of gender roles that I think the writer was trying to do. Because like Ben Affleck gives this whole speech where he's like, in every relationship, there's like a bull and a cow.
That's funny.
And like, they end up joking around that she's the bull, like she's the more like tough masculine one in the relationship, and he has to learn about his more like sensitive feminine side.
There's a lot of animal metaphors in this movie.
Oh my god.
Animal imagery.
Turkey time! Gobble gobble.
Ew.
And so I think she's being used to help the lead character find his feminine side and realize it's okay for him to be sensitive. And so they decided to make her a lesbian because she's into women, so she's more into sensitivity, femininity.
Bad movie. 0.4. To be edgy. 0.4. Not quite a half of a point.
Okay. Why? Explain.
Oh, it wasn't bad enough to be funny. It was annoying to watch. J-Lo is fine in it. They have the least sexual chemistry of any couple on screen.
And they were dating at the time.
Yeah, they were dating, and it's just not fun to watch. Flop. Huge flop.
I gave it a 2 out of 10.
With 2?
I gave it a 2 out of 10.
Now I seem like a bitch.
I gave it 2 out of 10. Here's my reasons why.
Okay.
Some of the scenes are fucking hilarious. And then I enjoyed Al Pacino.
Like a promo for the movie. He was so bad.
But the rest of it,
gonna get away with this.
the rest of it was truly god awful. The plot was so bad. It was offensive to queer people and to people with disabilities. And just to like human decency, I think. It was an affront to everything.
You guys should watch it.
Yeah. We paid to watch
It's
that
like
movie.
$4 on YouTube. Maybe not next movie.
Alright, movie number 2, Chasing Amy. So, Ben Affleck, again, is the lead character. Holden and Banky are best friends, and they write a comic book series together about these stoner guys. And they're at a comic book convention, they meet a girl at a comic book convention, and they're like, oh my god, we met a girl here. She's also a comic book writer. They, like, go to a bar to hang out with her. Ben Affleck, like, super immediately has feelings for her. They, like, have some, like, banter that's, like, too witty. You know, it's, like, obviously scripted and annoying. And he's like, I'm in love with her. She's in love with me. Then she invites him out to a party. Turns out it's at a lesbian bar. She, like, sings this kind of annoying song. That he thinks that she's singing to him. She's actually singing to a girl. She makes out with the girl. They're like, go. So it turns out she's a lesbian. Ben Affleck gets all pissy about it. His friend thinks it's hilarious. Her and Ben Affleck hang out like a ton. She's like, I want to be friends with you. She basically explains like lesbian sex, and they become best friends. He professes his love for her, and she's like, oh my god, I'm so upset about that. I can't believe it. And I'm like, that seems reasonable. But then she kisses him. They start dating. It's a whole thing. Okay, so my count of queer characters in this movie is 8-ish.
8-ish.
8-ish. We got a lead character, Alyssa, who is bisexual, we think, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna assume
I would
bisexual.
say so.
We've got Ben Affleck's best friend, Banky, who we start to believe is in love with Ben Affleck, potentially. He is potentially gay. We don't know.
Yeah.
That one's never confirmed. Hooper X, black gay man, very cool. Love his character. Then we have 2 women that Alyssa has a brief thing with. We have Kim, the girl she makes out with in the bar. And we have what she's credited as is Con Woman.
Oh, she's Con Woman because Comic-Con.
I know, but she doesn't even have like a name.
Oh, yeah.
Then also Alyssa's friends. They're also just like a gaggle of lesbians.
I think they're important. I think almost all of them are really important. Banky's super important. Alyssa's like honestly the main character over him.
And her sexuality is like the main point of the entire movie.
And then Hooper, super gay, super cool with it, out loud. Kim, she doesn't matter.
I hate what they did with her. Like, they just made her be like obsessed with Alyssa and just like, hang out with me, come dance with me.
But that's just one scene, right?
I know, but it's so annoying. Like,
yeah. I mean, but it's showing like Alyssa's like so comfy with it. She's like in front of Ben Affleck and Banky.
I know, but like, no one's actually like that.
Some people are like that.
I think it bums me out that the only woman they really showed her being with was like a non-personality.
The girl at the end kind of matters, even though she's silent.
Not really.
Well, because every summary I read says that she's like dating her.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell from the movie at all. Like, I would assume they were business partners.
I think it was kind of good.
Explain why.
Okay. Alyssa is just like pigeonholed kind of. Like all her friends think she's a lesbian, but then she like kind of slowly is into Ben Affleck and she's like, look, I'm like attracted to you and you're one of the like rare men that I'm into. She's like a pretty open bisexual woman. Like she's still attracted to women. She's dating a woman at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Which is like a big deal because I feel like before that all bi characters were like, I'm gonna stab ya.
When we first watched this movie, I did not want to like it because we had already watched Gigli first. I was like, great, another movie where Ben Affleck turns a lesbian straight. Like from the feel of the movie, you can really sense that it's from a male perspective. Like I think the movie would be better if it was from her perspective instead of Ben Affleck's perspective. But I really do like what they ended up doing with her sexuality in the end. Because I think it showed sexuality is fluid. They have a whole conversation. I really like the conversation they have about what is considered sex, what is considered losing your virginity. Because, like, I feel like that is such a question that straight people have for queer people, is that, like, oh, you're still a virgin because you haven't had, like, penis and vagina sex. Like, how do you even do it? Like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, this movie addressed that, which I thought was cool. And it also addressed slut-shaming in a really cool way, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, turns out later in the movie, Alyssa has a past of sleeping with, you know, multiple partners, male and female. And, like, Ben Affleck cannot handle it. Like, it really, really upsets him and, like, ends their relationship because he cannot deal with that fact. And I think that was a really cool way to address that.
Yeah, but I don't want to watch that from her perspective. That would be terrible.
I don't think so. I think it'd be awesome.
Because, look, she's, like, so grown, that whole movie.
Yeah.
She knows that she's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you fucked up. Here's why. You can't get over it, so I don't want to deal with this. Like, goodbye. The movie would be, like, a non-drama.
But she's dealing with, like, trying to accept her own sexuality.
Yeah.
Because she, like, she gives this whole speech, like, she thinks of herself as a lesbian. She's kind of like, she wrote off men because she wanted to experiment with women and she realized she liked dating women, but then she said she's like selling herself short by like not giving herself a chance with men anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think it's very interesting when a character has to struggle with their own identity and like she has to question her own sexuality and she has to deal with being judged both by straight people and by her lesbian friends. Like it really shows like a bi person's experience and how bi people are stigmatized from a queer community and from a straight community. Also, representation-wise, I think it's really important to talk about Hooper's character. At the beginning of the movie, they have him do this whole kind of like Black Panther kind of persona, but then it turns out it like is a persona he's using to market his comic books. And I don't know, the way they play with like racial things and sexuality in this is actually pretty cool. He has a whole conversation with Ben Affleck's character where Hooper's talking about how it's so acceptable for Alyssa to be like this bisexual white woman, and how it's kind of like fetishized that she's like a femme lesbian. But he's like, as a black man, like, I can't do that. Like, no one's going to be into it. No one's going to think it's okay. And I think that's like a cool thing for them to have put into it.
I liked it. I give it an 8.
An 8.
I really liked it. I think it was good. I love Kevin Smith. Silent Bob gave a hell of a speech. It was great.
So I wrote down that I gave it a 6. But I think from talking about it again and all like the positive things it does for talking about like sexuality and stuff, I think I'm going to give it a 7. And some of the jokes are just like annoying. Like when they have like, when they talk about like going down on a girl for like 5 minutes straight, I'm like, but.
I mean, that's a Kevin Smith movie.
I know, but like a lot of the humor, I'm just kind of like, okay. But they handle her sexuality in like a very cool way. They have a lot of speeches that go against like stereotypes about sexuality. I didn't want to like the movie, like I said, but I did end up kind of liking it. I find the main characters annoying, which is why I'm not ranking it higher, is because like I think they're well developed characters and I think they prove a good point, but I don't really like them. It's weird to me that Ben Affleck did this one and then did Gigli like 5 years later.
I'm rolling with the LGBT, looking like we belong on TV. I'm rolling with the LGBT.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Let's get chips.